This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning. Inching our way toward February. It's January 30th now. I'm Ray Collins.
I am Stephanie Webb. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Suncoast.
Misty out there, John. A little chilly as well. What do you think?
I agree. You look around the newsroom, there's lots of blankets and hoodies out there this morning.
Yes.
That's right. We do have a little bit of high, thin clouds across the region, which have helped kept our nighttime temperatures up a little warmer than they could otherwise be, but it's still cool out there, no doubt about it. It's in the 50s, which is below average for this time of year. So we are looking for a chilly start to the morning, but I'll tell you what, it's going to get even colder as we head into tonight, significantly colder. We have these high, thin clouds kind of streaming across the center part of the state, and temperatures have responded to the northerly wind, that dry northerly wind, with about a 12 to 14 to 15 degree below what we were just 24 hours ago temperature. So kind of chilly out there compared to where we were yesterday. Around the region, 55 Sarasota, 52 Mayaca City, coming in at 52 in Wauchula, Bradenton at 51. As we head into the afternoon, we will be rain-free, but our temperatures are going to be cool today. We'll get up to about 65 for a daytime high at around 3 o'clock. We'll get into the 50s, mid-50s, I think, by around 7, 8 o'clock. And then as we head into mid-morning, there'll be plenty of sunshine around, but it'll be breezy and cool. Complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
All right, thank you, John. Talk to you soon. Checking the roads. At this point, not much to report in Manatee County. Little blip there on Cortez heading west, otherwise pretty clear. Checking farther south now in the northern half of Sarasota County, we'll see nothing red right now. The only yellow is out there by Bee Ridge and Cattleman as you head to the interstate. And our final map of the south will show us all clear at 5:02 on this Tuesday morning.
Our top story, you morning commuters, listen up. If you thought major road work here was only on busy roadways like the diverging Diamond Interchange and State Road 64, think again. The Florida Department of Transportation is announcing an upcoming project that's expected to cost millions of dollars.
Our Marla Spence is live from State Road 70 with the story. Marla?
Yeah, Stephanie and Ray, some major changes coming to one busy roadway here on the Suncoast. Now, the Florida Department of Transportation is announcing a road project for State Road 70 between State Road 64 and University Parkway. Planning on that project is in the works and isn't expected to start later this year. Officials with FDOT says the project is costing around $100 million and is considered to be a modified Diamond Interchange.
That project is much more extensive than the State Road 64 project in that it picks up where the University DDI project left off at University Parkway, heads north to where we're working here at State Road 64. And that'll include an auxiliary lane in both directions, northbound and southbound on I-75, between University Parkway and the State Road 64.
This means commuters will be able to go from exit to exit without merging into traffic. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to give you some more details on this new State Road 70 project that will be through the state and also with Florida Department of Transportation. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Here's a live look now at the U.S. Capitol, where tonight President Trump delivers his first State of the Union address. He's expected to deliver a unifying message, but some Democrats plan to boycott the speech. ABC's Candace Gibson has our preview.
As President Trump prepares for his first State of the Union address tonight, the White House says the speech will be an attempt to reset the tone, appeal to bipartisanship, and tout economic success.
We've got an economy that is booming. ISIS is on the run. We're remaking the judiciary in a way that actually believes in upholding the Constitution. There are some great things happening in this country.
Mr. Trump is expected to make the case that all groups are benefiting from a roaring economy, thanks, he says, to his tax cuts and deregulation.
So we have a lot of things to discuss, and we'll be discussing them, and I hope you enjoy it.
But not everyone is on board. Trump's first year in office has been marked by controversy, prompting a growing number of Democrats to announce they will boycott the speech. Among them, civil rights icon Representative John Lewis of Georgia, who said in part, "I cannot in all good conscience be in a room with what he has said about so many Americans." New York Senator Kristen Gillibrand, who will attend tonight, announced on Twitter that she's bringing San Juan Mayor Carmen Yulín Cruz as her guest, hoping to remind the president that Puerto Rico is still struggling to recover from Hurricane Maria. 4 months after the storm. Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
Meantime, the two senators from Massachusetts plan to invite two immigrants who have become success stories in this country. A CEO of a Boston-based company that protects 100,000 businesses from cybersecurity attacks will be there. Senator Ed Markey invited him to highlight his accomplishments as an immigrant from Guyana. And Markey's colleague Elizabeth Warren is bringing an immigrant from Haiti's devastating earthquake years ago, who has since become one of the youngest members of city council in his city.
Someone who shows a little bit about the best of America.
The two senators say the two immigrants represent the best part of the American dream.
And the State of the Union airs tonight at 9 o'clock. You can watch the speech live right here on ABC 7. And for the latest on this story, your up-to-the-minute breaking news and the latest in your First Alert forecast, just head over to the App Store. You can find our app under WWSB or My Suncoast. Also happening today, the Bradenton Police Department will be hosting a community squad meeting. The purpose, of course, of the community squad meetings are to allow the residents and the public to get to know each other and interact one-on-one with police officers and supervisors to discuss issues in their neighborhoods. Now, the meeting is going to take place at the A1 Handy Part in East Bradenton. It's going on right now until 10 o'clock this morning. There's going to be another one later on today at 4.
Also this morning, some Siesta Key residents will be attending this morning's meeting of the Sarasota County Commission. Commissioners are talking about proposed changes to the Siesta Key zoning code. The code would allow taller commercial buildings closer to the sidewalk, which is drawing support and opposition. The meeting starts at 9 this morning at the County Administration Building that is on Ringling Boulevard.
Well, the Westfield Mall no longer features a vending machine that feeds fish. According to reports by the Bradenton Herald, the animal activist group PETA complained that the machine was harmful to the fish. Now, they say the Feed the Fish and Make-A-Wish vending machine, which allows visitors to pay to dispense food to the fish, was actually harmful because there was no way to determine whether and how much these fish were being overfed. And when they're overfed or underfed in some cases, it can turn deadly very quickly. PETA thanked them for removing the machine by sending the staff a box of fish-shaped chocolates.
Caught on camera now, dash cam video that shows a sheriff's deputy pulling a teen from a burning car after a crash in Michigan. Let's watch this together. The deputy was on patrol early Sunday when the car sped by. He later found the car crashed in the woods, overturned and on fire. The deputy broke through the car's sunroof to rescue an 18-year-old driver. He was treated for lacerations and a broken thigh bone. Deputies say they smelled marijuana and alcohol at the scene. The teen was arrested and released pending results of that blood test.
Over 150 people are safe now after being stuck for several hours on a broken chairlift in Austria. The chaotic incident took place at Kreisberg, right in front of the mountain. It's like in southern Austria. It took authorities nearly 3 hours to rescue all of those stranded skiers.
Hundreds of people have been forced to leave their homes in Paris as the French capital is on flood watch. Heavy rain caused the river Seine to burst its banks over the weekend. The flooding has disrupted train services. Tourist boats aren't running, and parts of the Louvre are closed. It's too early to assess the damage, but a former security officer said he would estimate the damages in the millions now, not only from water damage, but also the financial impact of closing the Seine.
No supervision, no problem. A wild elephant walked across the border between China and Laos. The whole thing was caught on video. Look at this little guy. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to walk through all of this. The whole thing was caught on video. About an hour later, the elephant actually did return to where it came from. So it was just, out for a little stroll.
Apparently,
just a little elephant stroll. Nothing to see here, folks.
I guess he packed his trunk. All right, sorry.
Oh, he's here all day, folks.
No, just till 7, I promise. I'll leave quietly. 5:09 right now. Still ahead, First Alert traffic and weather. And taxpayers may be surprised to hear how much a Sarasota special election is costing. We'll tell you about that, profile the candidates, and endure at least one awkward moment you won't want to miss.
Live for those.
Yes.
And coming up a little later in the hour, an ATM hack that has the Secret Service and banks warning consumers. You don't want to miss it. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Here's a live picture of the Rosemary District off to a chilly start. John Scalzi has the forecast after this.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at an air temperature that comes in at about 55 degrees. We're looking at a 55-degree temperature by 9 a.m., but then 60 degrees by 12 noon. As we head into 3 p.m., we're looking at 64, and by 7 p.m., 55. So all in all, kind of a cool day today. We do have a little bit of cloud cover around, and that's helping to keep our temperature up just a tad at 55. But dew points are low at 33, and winds are brisk out of the northeast at 12 right now. So you add that low dew point and that breezy wind, and it does indeed make it feel kind of crisp out there. We have, as I mentioned, a little bit of cloud cover, but still the winds out of the north will continue to drain down the cooler, drier air. So despite the fact that those clouds are kind of a warming ingredient to how the air feels right now, the clouds won't linger. They're caused by a little upper level impulse that'll scoot on past a little bit later on today and provide us with sunnier skies as we head into the mid-morning hours. By around noontime, I think we'll be in pretty much full sun, and the winds out of the north will continue to be breezy throughout the day today. Small craft advisory is up through the afternoon, and with that breezy wind, it's certainly going to feel cool and crisp throughout the day today as we struggle to only make it by around 3 o'clock to the mid-60s. And then we'll taper it off pretty quickly as we head into the evening hours. One thing you'll notice as we head into the evening is that the winds will start to shift more to a northeasterly direction. That will start a warming trend that'll carry us into the next couple of days as those winds shift progressively to the east. However, that warming trend will take a day to kick in, and tonight will be the coldest night of the entire week as we bottom it out in the lower 40s. Radar quiet across the entire region. You really have to go up into the northeast to see any kind of significant precipitation going on. We got some snow showers here transitioning into rain and freezing rain as you head into the Carolinas. That caused by a low pressure area that's off the coastline, and it's that low pressure area that brought the cold front through our region yesterday. So that low continues to press off to the north and to the east. The high pressure ridge back to the west continues to build in, and we see our winds progressively out of the north and breezy today. That's going to provide us with some pretty quiet conditions weather-wise for probably the next 5-6 days, but it will also bring us a couple of cold nights. What do we have to do to warm it up? Well, as I mentioned, we have to take that high, move it a little further to the east, twist our winds around to the east, and start to bring in a little bit more moisture to keep our nighttime temperatures warmer. Tonight, cold though, breezy and cool throughout the day. In fact, coldest night of the week shaping up for this evening, which brings us to a nighttime low in the low 40s and inland temperatures in the upper 30s. Slow warming trend will begin by midweek. 10 to 15 knot winds. It's going to be a small craft advisory up, as I mentioned, throughout the day today. And the forecast calls for our daytime high breezy at around 65 tonight, the low of about 42 tomorrow. We warm a few degrees under mostly sunny skies. And then over the next several days, we will continue to warm until we get into Sunday, when we'll cloud up just a little bit as the next approaching front brings us better chances of rain next week. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside this morning in your first alert traffic. Nothing too big to see right now at 516. The roads are pretty smooth out there. We've got a little congestion on Cortez, but other than that, nothing really going on in the county. Now, in North Sarasota, again, the roads are looking pretty smooth out there this morning. So if you're headed up and out and about, you won't have too many road problems to deal with. And then in South Sarasota, again, not much to see there either. Roads are pretty smooth out there. 516, that is your first alert traffic. Well, a local special election to fill a state house seat in the legislature is costing taxpayers over $250,000, and the winner of the race will only serve a 9-month term.
All that and only very few will vote anyway, it seems.
Right, right.
The election is 2 weeks from today, and 3 candidates are working hard to get you to vote for them. A lot of attention is going into a race for a term that lasts only about 9 more months.
So once a person's elected on February 13th, if they choose to run for re-election, they will be turning right around and doing that process again, because this seat will be back on the ballot again later in 2018.
Alex Miller resigned 6 months into her 2-year term. And this special election's not cheap either.
We estimated $350,000.
So you have 3 candidates all making their first run for political office, all with very different reasons as to why they're running.
Well, Ray, I really want to see libertarian representation in the state house here in Florida.
Well, this is a district I grew up in, so the opportunity to give back is something I so much look forward to.
I want to make sure that I represent the people of Sarasota.
Each candidate also has particular issues they'd like to pursue. Democrat and attorney Margaret Good says she is fed up with government.
For years, they have ignored the will of the people and instead have favored corporations and special interests, and I'm going to change that.
Republican realtor James Buchanan, who is also son of area Congressman Vern Buchanan, says if you like Governor Rick Scott, you'd like him.
Rick Scott's done an amazing job over the last 7 years. There's a lot of work left to do, but if we continue on his program, I think that's the right direction.
Libertarian and marketing company owner Allison Foxall says her biggest issue is government deregulation, and that starts with occupational licenses.
We are the most burdensome state regarding licensing in the entire union. We regulate over 325 businesses and professions.
Foxall and Buchanan are both from this area. Good says she was raised outside the state, but seems reluctant to admit it. Listen. Where are you from? Did you say where you're from?
Well, so my father is a 4th-generation Floridian from Central Florida, just south of Ocala, in a small town called Ocklawaha.
And where were you raised?
I was raised in South Carolina and Georgia.
And Buchanan has his own way of avoiding questions he doesn't like. We asked him why he initially turned down the chance for debates and then changed his mind. Why were you reluctant to get involved with debates at first?
Well, I wanted to spend time in the district one-on-one with the constituents. For me, that's what it's all about.
Buchanan's campaign later issued a statement to us, clarifying his answer, saying the reason he changed his mind about not doing debates, he says, at this point, I think it's important for the voters to understand the differences between my opponents and me. Foxall's answers were straightforward, but she just suffered from some bad timing.
And I look forward to being their next state house representative.
So the election is in 2 weeks.
Election is in 2 weeks. All those candid moments.
Yeah, and we'll have a debate tonight at 7 o'clock of the 3 candidates. The only time the 3 of them will will be debating is tonight right here on ABC 7 at 7 o'clock.
All right, good stuff. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Apple has told suppliers that they're cutting production for their iPhone X. We'll tell you why it's being phased out.
And next half hour, how a trip to the hospital for an infant led to jail time for the baby's parents. The story is on the way.
If you're between 50 and 85 years old, call the number on your screen right now for free information on how to save your family thousands of dollars. We're Family Love Plans, and we've been helping families just like yours for over 30 years. The average funeral today can cost up to $10,000 or more, but the most you'll get from government benefits is just $255. How will your family pay the difference? At Family Love Plans, we can help you and your family. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam and your plan can't be canceled. Better still, your rate will never go up and your benefits will never go down. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and receive approval right over the phone.
Call 1-800-707-3608. That's 1-800-707-3608.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Winter continues up north. Makes our 50s a little more tolerable right now.
It does. And whenever we're feeling cold, I feel like we can always find the places that can make us feel suddenly so much warmer.
This is a live picture from the eastern end of Long Island, Suffolk County. A snowy morning commute just beginning up there at 5:22 on this Tuesday morning. Hey, we've got plenty of pictures coming into us now. We appreciate that. We've got a little boy. We're going to show you who's got his dog. We'll show that picture shortly. And also, we've got a nice sunset from one of our other viewers. So
we like that. Keep those pictures coming.
There's our addresses. There's the Instagram account as well. So feel free to stay in touch with Good Morning Suncoast. On to consumer news now. A new hacking scheme at the banks.
It's called jackpotting, and it involves stealing money from ATMs. Authorities say robbers are using malware or hacking tools to get control of cash machines. Now, once that's done, the money dispenses the cash really quickly inside, almost 2 bills per second, as if the robber has just won a jackpot. Now, Secret Service officials say standalone machines like the ones in retailers or pharmacies, those are the ones that are especially vulnerable. It's been reported in Asia and Europe, but relatively new here in the States. At least 6 of this type of thefts have actually happened within the last few days, with more than $1 million stolen at various ATMs. And 3 large German automakers are confirming that researchers used monkeys to test health effects of inhaling diesel fumes back in 2014. Now, the owner of Mercedes, Volkswagen, and BMW financed a study in which caged monkeys were reportedly forced to inhale fumes from a diesel Volkswagen. The study was reportedly part of an attempt to prove that new diesel engines were cleaner than their predecessors. It all came to light in a New York Times report just a few days ago.
The White House confirmed a secure 5G network is part of the administration's national security strategy. The proposal cites threats from China as the reason for government involvement in the private wireless market. The chairman of the FCC is speaking out against the government plan to build and operate a nationwide 5G network. He says the market is best positioned to drive innovation, and the government's role is to encourage the private sector.
Well, it appears the love for the red-hot iPhone X is cooling off a bit as Apple is expected to cut production of the smartphone.
ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have details in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple is reportedly cutting production of its most expensive phone ever by half.
The company is now expected to crank out about 20 million iPhone 10s in the first quarter of the year instead of 40 million. The $1,000 price tag is being blamed for lower than expected sales. And dozens of medical experts are warning parents not to let their kids use the new Messenger Kids app.
In a letter to Facebook, the group says younger children are not ready for social media accounts, which they say could undermine the children's development. The app is meant for kids as young as 6. Facebook says it provides a safe environment with no ads. And Amazon has opened its own Amazon rainforest called the Sphere for its employees in Seattle.
The giant conservatory houses 40,000 plants from 50 countries with custom LED lights for creating synthetic sunshine.
Escape your cubicle and go to the rainforest.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites. Brought to you by Match.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Taylor.
I'm Catherine. Hi, I'm Courtney.
Looking for a real relationship? Text LOVE to 33898 and Match will give you 7 days free.
I'm looking for someone to laugh with.
I am looking to explore. I'm not a game player. I like nice guys.
Text LOVE to 33898 and get 7 days free.
I hope to see you soon.
Come find me. I can't wait to meet you.
Why wait to meet someone great? Text LOVE to 33898 and get yours 7 days free on Match now.
Before discovering Nexium 24-Hour to treat her frequent heartburn, Claire could only imagine enjoying chocolate cake. Now she can have her cake and eat it too. Nexium 24-Hour stops acid before it starts for all-day, all-night protection. Can you imagine 24 hours without heartburn?
I tried hard to quit smoking. But when we brought our daughter home, that was it. Now I have Nicoderm CQ.
The Nicoderm CQ patch with unique extended-release technology helps prevent your urge to smoke all day.
It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Every great why needs a great how.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Join ABC7 at the all-new 2018 edition of Circus Sarasota. Ovation under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park behind the mall at UTC. Friday, February 9th through Sunday, March 4th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off courtesy of ABC7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org. The Circus Sarasota box office at the big top or call 941-355-9805.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
ABC 7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, one man's loss, another man's gain. We'll tell you about that second man who is now on the hunt by Northport Police. We'll explain.
And crime TV show host Nancy Grace gets involved in the case of a missing Sarasota teen. We have those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning to you. It is 5:30 on this Tuesday morning. Welcome to you. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. 5:30 and January 30th.
Are we all the way through January already?
I know. Moving
Super Bowl
along.
just days away. I'm excited about that.
Special treat later on this week. We're going to talk to a Super Bowl kicker.
That's right. I like this.
So today we're going to throw passes out in the parking lot.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Can I Facebook Live that?
Yes, that'd be a good idea.
Might need to.
John Scalzi joins us now. Good morning, John.
When are we going to tailgate? That's what I want.
All day, every day.
All right. All right. Hey, 45 degrees, says Becky in Omayaca. Kind of a chilly start, but temperature's running really about average. Thank you to a little bit of cloud cover streaming across the center part of the state. If we did not have that cloud cover and if we did not have that breezy wind out of the north, I think our temperatures would be significantly cooler. They will be tonight. Tonight will be the coldest night of the week coming up. Currently across the region, we have 51 degrees in Wauchula, 51 in Parrish and in Bradenton. Sarasota comes in at 55 degrees, Venice at 53. So some cool temperatures around, but the good news is for your commute forecast this morning, absolutely no problems whatsoever. We don't have the rain. We don't have the fog that we had yesterday. We do have a little bit of a breezy wind, and it's two hands on the wheel over the Skyway Bridge today. But it's not such a strong wind that, they're closing the Skyway or anything like that. That's not going to happen. Temperatures are a little on the cool side, but not, terribly so. Tomorrow morning, be a little bit chillier, though. Talk about the forecast coming up in a few.
All right. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. A little build up there in Cortez. Westbound as you head toward the beaches. Nothing major right now, not this time of the day. A little farther south. The only red we see on that part of the map is down on 41 southbound as you cross over Stickney Point and Clark. Otherwise pretty clear. South County map showing all clear at 5:32. Our top story this half hour, call it a crime of opportunity. Northport police are looking for the person who found and took hundreds of dollars from a Publix ATM. It happened at the store in the Cocoa Plum Village shops. Police say the original ATM user walked away thinking the machine had broken. Well, it hadn't. Next guy comes along, sees the money, takes it, and leaves with it. That's illegal. If you recognize him, you're asked to call the Northport Police.
And the disappearance of a Sarasota teen has caught the attention of crime show TV host and former prosecutor Nancy Grace. Now, she discussed Jabez Span's disappearance in her recent podcast episode of Crime Online, making it the second time now that they've discussed his disappearance and bringing some much-needed attention to his case. Jabez was last seen in front of his grandmother's home on 23rd Street in Sarasota back in September. There's still a $50,000 reward for any information in that case.
A Sarasota couple is awaiting Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, after their arrest on child neglect charges. The parents were charged after their infant daughter was brought back to the hospital with serious injuries. That arrest happened just 2 days after the Sarasota Sheriff's Office entered a new agreement to hold suspected illegal immigrants long enough for ICE to verify their citizenship. 27-year-old Martin Gomez and 28-year-old Magdalena Perez Lopez are being held on $100,000 bond each for suspected child abuse against their infant daughter. Medical staff at Sarasota Memorial called Sarasota police after they say they saw injuries.
This is a defenseless 2-month-old child, and the injuries could have taken her life.
Gomez was charged with domestic battery and false imprisonment last year, but those charges were later dropped by that victim.
Well, there are some new details this morning of that story of the first grader that was arrested in South Florida. We first told you about it yesterday. School district officials say the first grader was restrained once before in the school year for aggressive behavior. They also say the latest episode happened last week when a teacher at the school in Miami told the boy to stop playing with his food in the cafeteria. Well, a police report says the boy hit the teacher repeatedly in the back, kicking and punching her until they both fell to the ground. School officials say the boy was hospitalized briefly under the Florida Mental Health Act based on behavioral criteria that he indicated he could pose a threat to himself or to others in that case. Well, as the president prepares for his first State of the Union tonight, doing a run-through in the map room of the White House yesterday, the Russia investigation may overshadow his big night. ABC's Serena Marshall joins us from Washington with more.
Andrew McCabe stepping down early from his role as FBI Deputy Director after learning he was going to get slammed in an upcoming Inspector General report on the actions of senior FBI officials during the 2016 presidential campaign.
Have you been told McCabe is resigning? Mr. President, have you been told that McCabe is resigning? Thank you. Thank you.
McCabe was often the target of the president's ire. Sources tell ABC News the president had at one point called his wife, who ran for office in Virginia as a Democrat, a loser. And he revealed just last week, shortly after becoming acting director, the president asked him who he voted for.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think I did.
You did not.
I don't know what's the big deal with that.
Thrust into the national spotlight after the firing of James Comey, the FBI's number 2 defended his former boss on Capitol Hill and insisted the Russia investigation was a
highly significant investigation.
His early departure comes the same day the House Intelligence Committee voted along party lines to release a confidential memo written by Republican committee members alleging FBI wrongdoing. The Justice Department had previously called releasing the memo without review reckless. For now, a dissenting memo by Democrats is being withheld.
This committee voted to put the president's personal interest, perhaps their own political interest, above the national interest.
The president has 5 days to review the memo. When asked if the president planned to address the Russia investigation or the memo during his State of the Union, Sarah Sanders simply said she was not going to get ahead of the president's address. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
All right, and right now we've got a live look at the Capitol, where tonight President Trump will be delivering his first State of the Union address. Lots of activity going on in that building today. And don't forget, the State of the Union does air tonight at 9 o'clock. You can watch the speech live right here on ABC 7.
One of President Trump's golf clubs in Florida is suing a local property appraiser. They say the Palm Beach County appraiser estimated the value of $19 million for this. It's too high, they say. And the course received a tax bill of nearly $400,000. However, we found out President Trump lists the course's value at more than $50 million in his federal financial disclosure list.
And a classified document that accuses the FBI of wrongdoing might become public within days. Now, the House Intelligence Committee voted in favor of releasing the memo yesterday. It alleges the FBI took advantage of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act in order to obtain a surveillance warrant for one-time Trump advisor Carter Page. Now, that decision to release the memo was split.
I signed a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't discuss what was in the memo, but I can tell you the American people need to see it and they need to know what is.
We've completely politicized both the law enforcement institutions that keep us safe in this country and completely politicized the release of classified information.
President Trump has 5 days to decide if the memo should see the light of day.
For the latest on this story and other breaking news, plus your up-to-the-minute first alert forecast, go to the App Store and update our latest app under WWSB or My Suncoast. Still ahead, first alert traffic and weather. And
that's right. If the flu's got you down and you cannot seem to get back up, we do have some natural food remedies from an expert. That's coming up next for you in Health Smart.
There's a peek outside at the Rosemary District. Off to a nice morning. John has complete details in his first alert forecast next, right here on Good Morning Suncoast.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's West Coast with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye. And over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation.
1-800-813-0109.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Now, your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Air temperatures, we head into the 9 a.m. hour, will be about 55 degrees. So we're running about average for this time of year. Average would be about 52 or so. So we're actually a little above average thanks to a little cloud cover and a breezy wind out of the north. Now, as we head into the mid-morning hours, say coming up on lunchtime, we'll be looking at fairly sunny skies. I think the cloud cover that we have around will dissipate away and we'll be left with a lot of sunshine. But the north wind will kind of be fighting against the sunshine, and our temperatures are not going to rise all that much today. We'll be at about 60 by 12 noon, and then only at about the mid-60s as we head into maximum heating of the day at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And when we get into the evening hours, our winds are going to subside just a little bit. We'll have fairly clear skies, and our temperatures will fall off pretty significantly, pretty quickly as we get into the evening hours. 55 degrees by about 7 p.m. and we'll be well on our way to the coldest night of the week coming up overnight tonight. Currently, we're at 55 degrees. We have a dew point value coming in at 33. So it's a cold, dry air, or a cool, dry air, I guess I should say, under that north wind. And the north wind coming in breezy at about 12 will continue to pump in that cooler, drier air. If we didn't have the cloud cover, if we didn't have that strong wind, we certainly would be a lot cooler this morning. Winds out of the north continue on. The cloud cover kind of drifts off toward the east and leaves us by around noontime with fairly clear skies across the region, but the winds will still continue. So our temperatures today in the mid-60s are going to feel a little bit cooler than that because of that breezy wind. Now, eventually what we'll notice as we head into the evening hours is that these winds out of the north are going to start shifting just a little bit more to the east. that is actually the beginnings of a warm-up, even though you're not going to notice it tonight. But as we head into tomorrow and our winds become increasingly easterly, that'll bring in moisture from the Atlantic coast and help to keep our nighttime temperatures a little bit warmer and keep our daytime highs about where they should be for this time of year, in the low 70s. So we're headed for a pretty nice second half of the week. Tonight is going to be a little cool for some people, I realize that. Radar quiet across the region, no problems here. Now, there is some colder air to the north of us. Not, unusually cold for this time of year. Goodness, we're just moving into February, right? So we're looking at some snow showers in progress in and around the tri-state area there in New York, and some lake effect snows as well, coming in through parts of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and into Ohio as well. Transitioning into rain showers the further south you get, it's all part of a low pressure area that continues to spin off to the north and to the east. There's the cold front that came through yesterday, provided us with the cloud cover, the kind of misty conditions. That has now pushed further to the south and is allowing for this high pressure ridge to build in. As it builds in, our winds are progressively out of the north. So what do we need to do to warm things up? We need to take that high pressure ridge and push it east. When we do that, the winds twist around to the east and we start that slow warm-up process. But tonight, anyway, we got that cold air in place under a less aggressive wind and clearer skies. Yeah, it's going to be cold, no doubt about it tonight, or at least cool for a lot of folks. Breezy, cool today. Tonight, coldest of the week, and then that slow midweek warming. Those are your weather highlights for the next couple of days. Look at the weather trend. These are low temperature records. They're often a really good indication of how the atmosphere is progressing over the next several days. At this time of year, they're even better than high temperatures. And you can see tonight, after tonight, we really do start this warming trend that'll carry us really into the next several days. Even the next little cold front coming through is not going to pack the wallop that this last one did. So good news there. For boaters today, the winds being up mean, of course, some choppier conditions out there. And the seas are going to be running high as well, 3 to 5 foot. So a small craft advisory is up through the afternoon hours, boaters. Forecast kind of shaping up like this. Breezy today, 65 the high tonight. We bottom out at around 42. So it will be cool. Tomorrow, under full sunshine, we warm into the upper 60s. So a little bit of a warm up there, but still below average. As we head into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we'll be looking at that warming trend continuing right on. And then the next front approaches us on Sunday with a chance of rainfall, and the same thing on Monday. Back to you.
All right, let's take a look at your first alert traffic this morning at 5:47. Roads are looking pretty good out there today. Not much to see. You've got a little slowdown there on Cortez Road and a little bit coming in on State Road 64. But other than that, nothing too much out there. In North Sarasota County, I've got some slowdowns on Bee Ridge Road as well as Clark Road. And then in South Sarasota County, not too much to see there either. The roads are looking pretty good, so not too much going on. The roads are pretty quiet out there this morning at 5:47 with your first alert traffic.
In this hour's Health Smart emergency rooms have seen a spike in the flu the past few months. In fact, one hospital in Georgia has seen more than 400 flu cases this month compared to 45 this time last year. The government doesn't track every flu case, but comes up with estimates. One measure is how many people seek medical care. Last week, 1 in 15 doctor visits were about the flu. That's the highest level since the swine flu pandemic back in 2009.
Most patients we recommend to, if they're healthy and young and don't have a lot of medical problems, to try to stay home, try to avoid contact with other people except for necessary.
39 states reported high flu traffic last week. That's 7 more than the week before. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said Friday that hospital stays and deaths from the flu among the elderly haven't been as high as in some other recent flu seasons. However, hospitalization rates for people between 50 and 64 have been unusually high. And if you've tried everything but you still feel under the weather, some people are taking holistic approaches to fighting the flu. Natural food experts say items like garlic, elderberry, and even oregano could soothe your pain. 2 natural products they recommend.
They're just natural. I mean, the other 2 are elderberry. That's a berry that has antiviral properties in it. And the other one is oregano. That's also a natural plant. So we think if you can work with nature, that's the best way to try first.
Oregano it is. It's best to check with your doctor before taking supplements, as they could interact with medication you are already taking.
Well, switching gears to Hollywood, this is one casting move that makes perfect sense. Tom Hanks is set to play the beloved childhood icon, Mr. Rogers. The movie You Are My Friend is actually inspired by a real-life friendship between Fred Rogers and journalist Tom Junod. Now, it was a friendship that started after the journalist reluctantly accepted this assignment to sit down and interview Rogers, and finds that it changed his life. Now, this year marks 50 years since Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood first premiered on television. Rogers hosted it until 2001 and passed away just 1 year later. And Drake's hotline is blinging again, this time with some good news. His new single, God's Plan, is #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The track debuts in the top spot, and his other new song, Diplomatic Immunity, launches at #7. That makes him the only artist in history to debut 2 songs in the top 10 twice. And big wins for Bruno Mars did not translate to big ratings at the Grammys on Sunday night. CBS says that over 19 million people tuned into the show Sunday night, but that's the smallest audience since 2009. And in the coveted demographic of adults 18-49, the smallest audience ever. Maybe it was the politics or the really long 3.5-hour show. Whatever the case, the overall case didn't turn out to be too great for the Grammys. Actually, one of the lowest crowds since in the 18-49 district is all. Not a lot of people were watching it that night, so darn it.
Bruno Mars' real name?
Okay,
Peter Hernandez.
What?
Little trivia for you.
All right, well done, well done.
Still ahead, the day's top news headlines and why this high school basketball game is going viral. The story after this. But first, a peek outside at the Rosemary District. It is January 30th, Tuesday morning, 5:51. Should see a high of 65 degrees and breezy today. John's forecast and more news on the way.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Here's today's Job of the Day. ABC7 is seeking a multimedia local sales manager. Strong new business, digital, and OTT background required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
Here are some of the top stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
Northport police are looking for the man who found hundreds of dollars at a Publix ATM and kept the money. A previous customer had left the machine before the cash came out.
Plus, the disappearance of a Sarasota teen has caught the attention of crime TV show host and former prosecutor Nancy Grace. She's been bringing some much-needed attention to his case on her podcast, and there's still a $50,000 reward for any information in the case.
And the cost of next month's special election in Sarasota County is now $350,000 for taxpayers. The winner of the State House race will serve 9 months in office. Election day is 2 weeks from today.
And finally this hour, check out this high schooler in Illinois shooting a winning, look at that, 3-point shot. Freshman basketball player Blake Peters had to shuffle around players from the opposing team before taking home the win. Video of the buzzer-beating shot has been viewed more than 780,000 times on Twitter since Friday. It was even named ESPN SportsCenter's top play of the day.
Let's watch this again, just this angle. That is so difficult. Unbelievable.
How does that even happen?
I mean, when I've tried to throw a basketball, it curves wildly away.
Right? I would have taken out someone in the crowd at this point. Like, it's not good.
There's more cameras these days in the audience. We see those shots more often.
I know.
When it happens.
Well done. Well done. Scouting needs to happen for that kid.
Yes. He's good from 3-point,
right.
4-point range.
He's the game saver.
Much more local news, John Scalzi's forecast, and more Stephanie after this. Stay with us. Yeah, can't beat that.